Okay guys, just making a quick video about some of my favorite movies from when I was a kid. That doesn't necessarily mean they're all movies for kids, it's just stuff that I watched as a kid. Now the criteria I put for kid is, from whenever you start watching movies to about 12, 13. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing I'm going to show you is Transformers the movie. I used to like watching this flick a lot as a kid, and I didn't see the movie again until I was a teenager. I think I found this at Suncoast Video one day, and I paid like $15 for it. Next is G.I. Joe the movie. If you grew up in the 80s and you were a boy, that usually meant that you were watching either G.I. Joe, Transformers, or He-Man, and I watched them all. Saw this movie. I think I liked it as a kid. The more I've seen it nowadays, it's not as good. It's got Don Johnson as this guy. It's got Burgess Meredith as one of the snake people. It's a more of a nostalgia trip than an actual good cartoon. Next is Masters of the Universe with Dolph Lundgren and Frank Langella. A lot of people don't like it because they say it's like a Star Wars ripoff, even though it is a little bit. I still like it. I think it was a good movie. To me, it's one of the first movies based on a comic or a cartoon that instead of going with the super bright suits like say Mighty Morphin Power Rangers did, they went with darker colors and stuff like that. Skeletor is now wearing purple, he's wearing black, and I think this was Courtney Cox's feature film debut. Next is the Chipmunk Adventure. I love this movie a lot. Like I love the music in it, I like the animation. And the story, it's decent enough. It's about Alvin and the Chipmunks and the Chipettes going around the world trying to deliver little dolls of themselves because they got tricked by some adults. But it's a good film. Jetsons the movie. This is another one I remember watching as a kid. I don't know how I started watching it. I might have probably rented it on video or something, but it's really 80s. I think that's why I liked it. Like the voice of Judy Jetson was provided by Tiffany, I think, and the music videos that they have in here are super 80s. All Dogs Go to Heaven. I used to watch this a lot as a kid. Burt Reynolds, the voice of Charlie, and Dom DeLuise was this guy. And it's about a dog that dies, gets a second chance, and has to help the orphan girl. I never saw the sequel. I sort of watched the cartoon series. This is one of the first Don Bluth films I watched. One of the ones that I don't have that I wish I did is Land Before Time, the original movie. This is Rockadoodle, another Don Bluth film. I think I saw this at my aunt's house when I was a little kid. And I like the music a lot. I like that they blended animation and live action. Another one, I can't believe I forgot this, is Who Framed Roger Rabbit. It's over there, but I do have it. That's one I want to mention also. Next is Batman Mask of the Phantasm. This was around the time that the Batman animated series was out. This had an actual theatrical run. I didn't see it during that time again. Hollywood Video. That's how I saw a lot of stuff. Saw this. This was a great film because it took the source material seriously the same way that the series did. I think this might have come out before the series. I can't really remember. But it's a great piece of animation. Next is the Batman Superman movie. Not as good as Mask of the Phantasm, but it's something I watched a lot as a kid on VHS, and I enjoyed it. It's a great thing. This is McGee and Me. For those of you who might not know, This is a Christian animation thing that, again, has live action and then animation put on there. It's not that it's phenomenal, it's not that it's great. It's just that when growing up, I went to like a Christian school. I went to church Wednesdays, Sundays, and they show this every Wednesday at my school. And I grew to like it, and it's got kind of a nostalgic feel for me that it reminds me of being a little kid. Next is Harry and the Hendersons. This is a great film. I'm pretty sure a lot of people from the 80s have seen this movie about John Lithgow and his family knocking into the Sasquatch with their station wagon, bringing it home, and then kind of trying to raise it as a pet. Next is Problem Child 1 and 2. I think I like. Man, it's hard to choose. I want to say 1 the best, but either one is great. You know, I like John Ritter a lot. I thought it was really funny. I don't know whatever happened to the little red-headed kid, but this Problem Child movies were pretty good. At least the first 2 were. Next up is Dennis the Menace. You know, Walter Matthau and Christopher Lloyd. I think Leah Thompson was in it too. I don't remember how old I was. I might have been like 11 when this came out. This is one of those that, you know, my relatives gave me, and I watched it, and it's fun for the whole family, and it actually was. It was actually pretty decent. Beethoven. This is Beethoven 1 and 2. I like the first one better, but they're both good. I've started showing some of these movies to my niece. She likes the stuff with dogs in it, and Beauty and the Beast. She loves Beauty and the Beast, but we're getting off topic. Next up is the Flintstones, double back, but I'm showing it for the first one, the one with John Goodman. I really like this movie. You know, it had Rick Moranis as Barney. Those two were good pairing. Rosie O'Donnell as Betty, not so much. Next is Little Rascals. It's a funny movie. I can't really like name people off the top of my head, but like this kid was on. You can't see my thumb. This kid was on Fresh Prince. That kid went into Skip Parts. His name's Bug Hall. This kid was the real effeminate kid on Full House. That was friends with the Olsen twins. Just Like Dad. This is one of those things that I think Disney used to show. This is about a kid, dorky kid, whose dad, Sean Wallace, the voice of the T-Rex from Toy Story, he gets embarrassed that his father's a nerd, so he hires this guy to pretend to be his dad at a picnic or something, and to help him win a bunch of prizes. It's one of those, you know, you learn that the father you have is the best one for you. But I remember I really liked that. I don't know why I really liked it. I think it's because when the boys got a crush on some girl, the nerdy father actually gives him the good advice on how to get her. I don't know why that sticks out to me. It just does. Next is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. If you grew up in the 80s, you'd love this movie. I think now that I'm older, I have a bigger appreciation for this first one. But as a kid, Secret of the Ooze was my favorite. It's still good, but you know, it's dated itself with Vanilla Ice and everything. So next up is The Wizard. I love this movie. Like, I know it's a huge ad for Nintendo and the Power Glove and Mario 3, but it's an awesome movie. Seriously. Speaking of Mario, Super Mario Brothers. I know it's a bad movie, but I loved it as a kid. I think it was just the idea of Mario having his own movie. And next, Mortal Kombat 3. Mortal Kombat, sorry. I was, I think, 12 when this came out, so just under the radar. Still counts. This is, I think, my favorite video game movie to date. I don't watch a lot of them, but that's my favorite one so far. Next, the Back to the Future trilogy. I grew up watching these. My favorite is Back to the Future 2. Probably looking at it now because it had a lot of like 80s references. And it's just a really well done film, but I just love the hoverboard, I think, as a kid. And wondered when we were going to get those, even if it was pink. I was like, man, screw it. It's a hoverboard. Next is Uncle Buck. I used to watch this all the time on USA as a little kid. That's another thing I think I've been showing my niece is this movie and this movie, Teen Wolf. She likes Teen Wolf because she thinks that Michael J. Fox becomes a dog that plays basketball. Whatever helps her sit down for the hour and a half that we can watch the movie. That's cool. Next up is Ernest Goes to Camp and Ernest Goes to Jail. Showing this one for Ernest Goes to Camp. I love this thing. I would rent it all the time, I think. I watched it last night again just because I was bored. And it's still a good movie. My sister doesn't really like it, but I think you just had to have grown up while it was coming out. That's why. Next is Ernest Scared Stupid. I still think it's funny. Like, I know it's stupid, but it's a good movie. Like it's funny. Over the Top. I used to watch this on my ABC channel on Saturdays. They used to show random movies like Terminator, Tango and Cash, and Over the Top while somebody pitched aluminum siding. And so I would see this movie like once a month on a Saturday after all the cartoons were over. And I don't know, it's just a story about a man arm wrestling for his kid. I don't know, something good about it. Stay Tuned with John Ritter. This is a good John Ritter movie. It's about parents that get stuck in a satellite dish from hell, literally. It's got like animation, goofy skits and stuff like that. John Ritter is hilarious in this movie. Twins. This is another, again, aluminum siding movie. They would show it all the time. And Schwarzenegger and DeVito are hilarious in this flick. Look Who's Talking, Look Who's Talking 2. I'm putting it more for Look Who's Talking because that's the one I saw as a little kid. I thought it was pretty funny. Sister Act 1 and 2. I'm putting it for Sister Act 1. Whoopi was real funny in this one, and I think we used to have like 2 VHSs of this back when I was a kid. Nexus Hook. I know it bombed in the box office, but I thought it was a good movie. Like, I think I had the toys back in the day. Another Robin Williams movie, Mrs. Doubtfire. It was just Robin Williams being funny, and like this was around the time I think Aladdin was out. So, and Harvey Fierstein to me is funny in this one now because I didn't get that he was gay back then. I get it now. Pure Country. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, why were you watching Pure Country? Because I like George Strait. I like country music, especially as a little kid. So I thought this movie was the be-all and end-all of life. Last Action Hero. This is pretty much just a live-action cartoon. And I thought it was the greatest thing since sliced bread back when I was a kid. I just think it was ahead of its time. Like, I know people say it sucks, but it's still pretty cool. The Mask. Jim Carrey, another living cartoon. I didn't put any Disney cartoons, but I put a couple of live action. Up at Treasure Island, Tim Curry as Long John Silver. Good Times. Heavyweights. I love this movie. It's a great flick. Blank Check. This is another one they used to show on the Disney Channel a lot. Jungle Book. I think I watched the This is the Bruce Lee movie, and that's and then when I saw he was going to be in it, that's why I watched it, and I actually liked it. And last, D2, The Mighty Ducks. Out of the I have the trilogy, but out of the three, I think I like this one the most. A couple of movies that I don't own that I do like, I'm gonna mention is Land Before Time, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, and again Roger Rabbit's over in the shelf over there. But that's gonna do it for me on some of my favorite childhood movies. If you want to do a response video, cool, or comment, let me know what you liked as a kid. But as always, thanks for watching. Comment, rate, subscribe. Have yourself a good day.